just keep going until we get it right. Alright. Bum, 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 bum,
Wait. Hey, everybody! What's cracking, dudes?
Hey, kids. And adults, if there's adults in it.
Kids, adults, children of all ages here in the Disneyland Dadcast. What is up, ladies and gentlemen?
I don't want you to think I'm just interested in our kid listeners. I just need to make that clear.
Let's send a message.
I love all the listeners,
Send
specifically the children.
Send a message to all your 8-year-old fans.
I'm not a pedophile. I should just know that. I'm not a registered sex offender.
You're not registered.
Registered is the key word.
He goes to his preschool that just claims that he's not a pedophile.
I'm not. I'm legally. Well,
legally not.
I'm just not registered. That's all I can say.
Dylan, you're a dirty man.
Is this related to what we were just talking about, or is this a different?
I know.
Is this about the registry or no?
The registry.
Anyways, why am I a dirty man? There could be multiple reasons. I don't want to just
Well, actually, let's go
hole.
talk about what happened last week when you said you smelled like vomit for a week.
We did talk about that, didn't we?
Exactly. Yes, we did.
All right. Well, I don't smell like vomit anymore.
You did a wash?
I washed my clothes today, actually.
Oh, wow.
I washed my sheets. I washed my clothes, and I don't smell as much like vomit. There's still, it's not my clothes. Like I can smell my clothes and I smell fine now, but my room still has that that little slight smell.
You need to get like a can of Glen 20 and just go to town. Absolutely, just.
I think I need like a priest to just spray holy water on the walls and shit. It needs more than Glen 20. Pretty much, but
that's Latin for suck on these nuts.
Oh,
yeah.
There you go. You sung it as well. That's
quickly,
beautiful.
quickly got fluent last week.
There you go.
Do
you have to learn Latin in school?
No, because I didn't go to a private school.
Oh, well, all right. Well,
pretentious cunt.
All right, mate.
All right, mate. Steady on that.
All right. Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But yeah, Latin was compulsory, which is stupid because it's a dead language. Like, only the Vatican City speaks Latin, so it's so not useful at all.
That sounds so pretentious, though. It's just like, yeah, we're a city, we're also a country, we speak our own language, fuck you.
Yeah, that's, and that's, I feel like that's exactly how they sound as well, but they say it in Latin.
They sound like vaguely Italian gangsters.
This might be an unpopular opinion, but I reckon, I reckon Pig Latin is just as valid a language as Latin.
Yeah, imagine if we got all our science words from Pig Latin.
We should. all medical words as well. But I reckon more people would probably speak Pig Latin than Latin.
Sid A, Ernst Bay, I may, Kinsey.
For the duration of this podcast, for the rest of it, we will be speaking Pig Latin.
I can't. My nose is already bleeding. Having to think that much. I don't know what to do when the words start with vowels.
I actually didn't understand what you said either. I was just like, I'm not even going to try to translate.
For those at home, it's the acid burns my skin. A little bit of a science reference for you.
There you go.
All you science nerds.
There you go. I'm not a science nerd. I dropped out of science in school. It was too hard.
Yeah, I did biology, and I learnt. I forgot about more biology than I learned about.
What?
Yeah. I actually forgot what an arm was.
Okay, I find that hard to
believe.
Good. You're not fooling me on this one? Is this a Brendan's Wisdoms and you're trying to get me here? Because I'm not falling for that one.
Sneaky Brendan's Wisdoms.
Yeah, just sneak it in there.
Alright, I went to the gym today.
There you go. Well, I feel like you're allowed to say that because on one of the episodes of the podcast, I brought that up.
Yeah.
I said I went to the gym because if you go to the gym, I feel like you're allowed to tell people.
Well, this was an important session because I don't often go, and
That's not what I've heard.
I ran into.
I've heard a humble, modest Brendan over here. I heard he's been going 3 times a week. He's a changed man
for 1 week.
The Brendan I knew. It still counts. The Brendan I knew.
It's triple the time I
only
went
went twice, and they were both orientation times. So he didn't pick up one weight. He just went on a gym tour. But this time,
it was
3
a
times
mental
a
weight.
week.
It was a mental weight. I had to learn stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
But I overcame it.
He's right into it now.
Yes, but I ran into a very special friend. at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
Our very own Papa Dilly.
Was I there?
Yeah,
There was a reason I was there as well.
do tell.
All right. Well, there is one spot in this world where I can escape from Brendan and know that he's not going to be there. And that spot has been taken away from me now that you're a changed man. I always like, if I don't want to hang out with Brendan, I'll go to the gym because I know he won't be there. But now, you live there now.
I lurked in the shadows. I was like, Dylan, where are you? Where are you? And he goes, I'm in bed. I'm sick all day. I can't come out. And then I saw him, and my eyes lit up like an owl on acid, and I jumped on him. I said, Dylan!
And it
Dylan!
was a miracle.
Yeah.
From that point, I was cured of my sickness.
Yeah. He gained all his limbs back from leprosy.
Yep.
And we did a spin class together.
Yes, one of the most regretful decisions of my life.
What was your issue with the spin class, Dylan?
Multiple. Where do I start? First of all, so basically, it went for way too long. 45 minutes was way too long to be spinning. My head was spinning.
I was dizzy.
I was dizzy. Like after 5 minutes, I'm like, all right, we should be done soon because I can't do much more. 45 minutes later.
Yeah.
And I swear, every 5 minutes, this guy, he's a prankster. He'd say, all right, last one, guys. You've got this home stretch. And it was never the last one. He just said
still
that every
there. We're
5
still
minutes.
on the bikes.
Yeah, bloody hell. False advertising. I've have put in a complaint to management.
We got in there and we all set up the apps because there's special bikes and you need to have the special app and you need a pedal for your phone to not like destroy itself.
Mm-hmm.
So we're like pedaling along. We're doing that for 15 minutes. This guy walks in and I've been trying to think of how to describe his physique.
So have I.
I'd say like he's not what you'd expect from a general cyclist.
Yeah.
He was quite portly.
Mm-hmm.
And he wasn't the kind of guy that you'd expect to get into Lycra anytime soon.
Yeah.
But he was
To fit
pumped.
into
He was always trying to be like the pop star. He's like, it's UTS, tell me what's up, my dudes.
He was motivational.
Yeah, and no one was buying it.
Yeah, well...
Because he kept saying, like, how we feeling, guys? And no one would respond.
I think I, half passed out at one stage.
Yeah.
I was like, I couldn't respond.
But I just felt bad. Like, I didn't want to say anything because I was like, fuck this guy. Like, we're bicycling. It's not like... The music was kind of shit. And then it was just like... And he was like... I can't hear you. And I was like,
Aye, aye, Captain.
I was like,
oh. Then he started.
No, but
and then after 2 minutes, that's when we started cycling. After we got that out of the way,
the whole cycling
thing.
was done to SpongeBob remixes.
Yeah, it was an enjoyable experience.
I actually enjoyed
it
it
for friends who do study. Yeah, it's still study.
I think it was an enjoyable experience. It was kind of
Are you shitting me?
No, like it was fucked when I was doing it, but it's like when we did the beer bong. It's like sucks in the entire time you're doing it, and then as soon as you're done, you're like, I reckon I could do that again.
Well, that's what they say. They say exercise releases some sort of chemicals in your brain that you feel happier after it.
Yeah,
but I reckon that's bullshit. I reckon it's just you feel so bad while you're doing it.
Yeah,
It just seems like it's better after. You're just normal.
It's
like
like
it just seems so good because you've gone through so much
Tip
shit.
10 for feeling good, guys. Put your hands in the snow for 10 minutes. Watch them go purple, and then run them under some hot water.
You'll feel amazing.
You'll feel great.
That's that's a tip.
Yeah.
Forget about exercise. This is what you need to be doing. This is the key to happiness.
Well, this was going off my previous tip that I had in my mind, a theory that you could just drink a bunch of coffee, and because your heart rate's up, that you could exercise just by walking.
Fair enough.
So your heart rate's up, your body's moving, you breathe heavily, then done. You're exercising.
So.
You don't even need to run a marathon.
I feel like the science behind that doesn't work.
I
but
told
I'm not
that to my medicine
know.
student friend, and she laughed at me.
I think she laughed because it was such a good idea.
Yeah.
Because she's like, I can't. She found it funny that no one has thought of this before.
So, hello listeners, grab our branded Monster energy drink, the one with extra
We're sponsored
taurine.
by Monster, actually.
Monster. Do you want to do the
Hashtag
promo?
sponsored.
Let's
No.
role play. Come on, role play it.
All
Dylan.
right.
Role play it.
Do you know Monster Energy is actually made by the devil? Right?
Yeah.
Have you heard about that? So we're
Yeah.
sponsored by Satan.
Yeah,
So it's now a
because
Satanist
it's the Jewish
podcast.
symbol for 666, isn't it?
Yeah, the Hebrew. It's in the Hebrew language. So be warned when drinking it. Drink responsibly, of course.
Drink like a fucking champion. Monster Energy drink. Fucking get it in ya.
Bye now. Thank you very much. That's-
Authorized by the Australian government.
Oh, if we ever get a sponsor, let's say that after. That's amazing. So yeah, where were we? How did we get onto Monster Energy? Oh,
we've just been spinning literally at this spin class, and I think I fucked up because I'm like 5 minutes in, I'm like, I'm a man, I can handle this, and I turn like the fucking thing like 60 times, like for the gears.
So it makes it harder.
Yeah, so it was like
spin.
really
Works
resisted.
you.
I'm like, yeah, this is fucking good. And then 5 minutes later, I was like,
Turn
I'm
it back.
screwing
Turn it back.
And then
Too much.
because he kept saying like stand up, but I didn't. The first time I stood up, it just was not good at all. I was like, I was like, I think I was leaning too much on my legs, and like the fucking seat was like a spike up my rectum. It hurts so
They're not
much.
the comfiest things out there.
They're like the worst things, and I guess it's like supposed to motivate you to stay up, but like I was like, I'd rather sit on shit than stand up.
Yeah, I don't think I could physically stand up. But yeah, I don't think I've sweat as much in my life as I have in that 45 minutes. It was a sauna.
It was crazy, yeah, and like there was people in there that were just like fucking laser, like spin class is life. Like if they touched a real bike,
100%.
it'd fall off. But
every person in there was like way fitter than us. Like, well, I
it's
can only
because I
speak
think
for
we
myself.
were first
but
timers and no one else was.
yeah,
and then
they were
like,
pros.
I think
The guy next to you was in full lycra. Did you see that guy?
yeah, but he wasn't doing the
was ready.
class.
No, but he was.
Yeah, because we were there and we were like, I think he said something like halfway through, which is like, "Oh, first timers, you did a good job today. Like next time you come back, just try and do one track more, do one track more."
And when he said that, I thought it was over. I'm like, shit, yeah, let's
Yeah,
get out
yeah,
of here.
yeah. And then he kept,
Why did we stay, Brendan?
no, like the one thing that's worse than my physical health in general is peer pressure.
Mm.
If someone's like, if like we're the only two to leave, it's gonna look.
Well,
fun.
you're the one who kept me going because I'm like, I can't leave.
Yeah.
Brendan's still here.
I was trying to get into the zone. Like I was listening to music. Like,
That was just his heart just making that sound, and then it stopped for a little bit. But
Yeah.
then he kept going. I'm
It
proud.
stops for 35-second intervals. That's where I sprint because I know the blood flow's gonna be less. It's gonna like fucking get my metabolism fucking roaring.
Yeah, but anyways, at the end of it, I didn't make the best first impression when I met our person.
Please
did I?
explain.
Well, I invented this kind of sport. Well, basically, I started riding on the bike because we got there really early before the class started. So I started, we started having a warm up, which we didn't need because we got so hot during that 45 minutes. I'm never warming up for that again. I'll warm up during it next time. There won't be a next time. Let me make that very clear.
I'm gonna go. I'm
Well,
gonna keep going.
Brendan's keen. I'll be your moral support.
I'm gonna go cardio session, bro.
But I decided that I would try and do it with no hands. I'm like, I'll make a bit of entertainment out of this. And I thought to myself, if I can ride a bike in no hands, surely I could ride a unicycle. Because isn't that just the same thing? It's just
I think you're gonna say you could ride a bitch with no hands, but
well, that too. But priority is unicycle. Like, I want to be able to ride a unicycle.
Unicycle, bitches,
Bitches is on a lower level.
and then a merry-go-round.
Unicycle, priorities, people. So I decided to try and practice riding the bike with no hands. As it's stationary, it's a bit easier than a unicycle, baby steps. But then I decided to play a game where while I was riding with no hands, I'd also do a bit of dancing, get into the mood, make some fun out of it.
Dylan was doing the best Fortnite dances I've ever seen.
Exactly.
I would have given him like thousands of V-Bucks. But
Well, the other people in the room just started getting out dollar bills and just making it rain on me. So I don't know what was happening, but they must have enjoyed the
I didn't even know
performance.
Australia had dollar bills, but
Yeah,
they
so
all
they found
seem
them.
to have them.
They had it. They were actually dollar coins, and they really hurt. It was like that Kenny out of The Simpsons. One just hit me in the forehead. But
Kenny out of The Simpsons.
Lenny. Oh, shit. He's not.
I was just thinking, like, for The Simpsons, it's just like oh, who's this new kid to Springfield?
not Kenny from South Park. I mean Lenny. Anyways, everyone was making it rain except for our instructor, who did not appreciate the dance.
Yeah,
moves.
he did the like classic like Australian father figures like, oh, I wouldn't do that, mate.
Yeah, and that's to translate for our foreign listeners. That's the
equivalent of being disowned for
yeah.
coming out as homosexual.
yeah.
Like that's what it feels like.
I shut the closet door that day. I went back in. But yeah, he didn't like me from the get-go. And at the end, I'm like... Because I kind of didn't like this guy either. Because he didn't approve of my dance moves. I didn't like him. I didn't like how he kept saying, last one, guys. And it was never the last one.
That's the motivation.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him. It was very motivating.
Exactly. Because you give it your all and you think that you can't give any left. And then he goes, you're going to give some more.
Well, but I was going to say that he was so out of shape that I was kind of like, if he can do it, surely I've got to be able to do it. But he was way better than me, for the record.
But he was stopping as well. He was like doing the things like, all right, listen, let's do it. Ready, set, jump, go, spin, 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 spin.
That's true. I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, but he was a lot better. He was a lot better than me.
How are we doing, UTS?
I'm just blessed with a fast metabolism. That's all it is. I'm not a fit person, but thank you, metabolism. Thank you very much.
Yeah, see, like, I'm not the skinniest person either, but this guy, like, he surprised me.
Yeah.
He
kept
like,
going.
surprised me. Like, kudos to him for being able to teach that class, like, 2 or 3 times a week.
And he was stopping briefly, but he was like, he was
probably going
dancing, but
harder
he was
than
like
all of
pumping
us.
up the crowd.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know if you looked over ever, but like at one stage I was like, I think I half passed out, literally. Like on my handlebars, like my brain was just like, we got to stop this. We can't do anymore.
I remember looking over and your handlebars were just like fully fucking wet.
Yeah, but that was soaked.
Like,
I've
they
never
were like
sweat
the
so
most
much in my
soaked
life.
things in the world, and I was like, I looked over and I like felt a little better about myself, so I kept going.
Well, I'm glad I could be your motivation. But anyway, I didn't really like this guy that much. He didn't like my dance moves. We got off to a rough start, but that's why I wanted to prove him wrong. I reckon he was looking at me like, this guy, this little bitch. Look how sweaty his handlebars
That's
are.
his job. He's like a
Yeah.
stripper. It's like that sort of cuck mentality.
Yeah, exactly.
It's
He was
like-
cucking me hard, Brendan. He was like, this guy's going to crack. We're going to
Cucking
crack
me
him.
from the rear.
Do you know that class is actually only supposed to go for 5 minutes? That's why I said the last one. But he's like, this guy's still here. We better keep going until he leaves. So I never left. I made it to the end. So at the end, I was like, thanks, man. I'll see you next week. Knowing full well that I'm not coming next week. But I just wanted him to think, you didn't break me. All right, you didn't break me.
What he said was the funniest thing he said at the end. He came up to us, both of us, as we like hugged in our like our rejoice for our efforts. He said, "You guys hated that, didn't you?" And it's probably because I said "fuck off" like about a dozen times during that. Like not like in exhaustion, but like telling him to fuck off so he wouldn't keep talking to me.
So yeah, how could you tell? I actually thoroughly enjoyed it. That's I had a great
I
time.
think there's a certain like thing for authority that you have to be able to keep at. Like you can't just be like, "Oh, come on, guys," or like the logical opposite, which is just like, "Yeah, do this." It's got to be a middle ground. It's got to seem genuine. Like what he did just felt icky. Like it didn't feel genuine, if you know what I mean. Jesus Christ.
For the listeners, something just fell off Brendan's wall and he shat his pants.
I thought it was like a horde of rats just bursting out of the wall. Then like that glistening.
Is that your biggest fear? Do you have any phobias?
If a horde of rats came out of the wall, I don't want to be in the room for that long.
No, I think that's a genuine fear. No one would like that.
That's like not irrational. Like
It's valid.
it's
No, it is
irrational
rational.
expecting that it's gonna happen, but hearing that noise
Yeah,
just pulled me out of it.
defense mechanism. Do you have any real phobias though, or not really? For me, I'm like terrified of needles,
Really?
and it sucks because you can't avoid them.
Because I'm like over macho about needles. Like I remember in high school being like, if you don't like needles, you're a pussy.
You're there like kids don't want to get any, and you're like, give me 3.
Yeah.
Like make it worth my time.
I
don't
didn't
want just
fucking
one.
feel it when you put that alcohol. Thanks, Miss 60-year-old lady.
Like just one. I've got a busy schedule, miss. Hit me with another. Come
Yeah, I
on.
know. That's
Come
what
on,
sparked
pump me
my
up.
heroin addiction.
Yeah. But I could never be a heroin addict because I can't do needles. I just definitely
You
cannot.
can smoke it too.
Don't give me ideas, Brendan. I thought I was immune.
It's not as good.
Don't give me ideas. But yeah, no, needles for me, definitely. I faint every time I get a needle. And it's always after. It's not before. Like, I get it.
It's like when because they put you in, like, they give you like 5-10 minutes just before you go back to do anything, just to make sure you're okay.
Yeah, well, and I'm not. I faint in that time, in that period, so it's good they give you that time. But it's weird because it's never before the needle. You think, oh, something scary is going to happen. I'm going to get a needle, faint. You think your body would faint. But no, I get the needle. It hurts for a brief second. It stops hurting. You think I'd be fine. And that's when my body decides, yep, all right, time to faint. Doesn't make any sense to me, but it happens every time.
I suppose, like, the biggest... I wouldn't call it a phobia because it doesn't, like, stop me from doing it, but it's, like, falling or being, like, really fast and out of my control. Because I don't like skiing or, like, roller coasters that much because it's, like, that feeling of inertia. People love that shit. I hate it. There's something, like, in my brain, like, even when I do it, I'm, like, there's, like... that point of extremity, like, that people, like, strive for, I'm like, I don't like that. I don't want that feeling of going super fast, and if I fuck up, I could die. Yeah. Like, especially skiing, like, the first time I went skiing, I just went down, like, without any, like, braking or anything. I was like, oh, fuck. It's like, it's not great. I don't feel good about it. It's just, ugh.
Do you feel good after, though? Like, the adrenaline rush, or no?
Like a week after.
Once you've recovered.
Yeah, so like, when it's like faded in my mind a bit, I'm like, that was fun. I would do that again.
And then during it, you're like, fucking hell, why do I keep doing this?
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad I don't live near the snow. I'd just be living a fucking nightmare every weekend. So
you would you reckon it'd be the same for like skydiving and stuff? Because you're going pretty fast.
It's not like the fact, like, because I'm not afraid of heights, but I think... skydiving might be different because it's like I suppose
you're still going fast and uncontrollable.
Yeah, but you don't really have as much reference that you do when you're on the ground. Like I've heard from a lot of people saying, like even though you're falling, it feels like you're floating because like the ground's not really coming at you that quick, and like it's only like you only really notice it when you pull the parachute.
Well, I've never done it, but I'd imagine it'd be the opposite.
Because my parents have done it before, and they're just like it just feels like you're flying.
Right. But you think that once you pull the parachute, you go slower, so the ground wouldn't be moving as fast. But at that initial
But I suppose it's like the adrenaline that just keeps you pumped. But I don't know.
So
like,
you give it a go? Next week on the Dadcast, tune in live, Brendan jumping out of a plane. We'll mic him up and we'll test this. We'll test if he likes it or not.
Imagine the audio for that. It would just be like, I'm ready to
go. just screams. I don't like it. I don't like it. So, all right, we're crossing live to Uncle Jeffy to see if he is enjoying it. Just constant 2 minutes of screaming.
Why did I say this was my fear?
Back to you, Puppet Dilly in the studio.
Yeah, it's quite comfy and still.
Anyways, we went to the gym, but it was terrible. And I reaped. I don't know. I don't know what word. Do you say reaped? Reaped.
Reap the benefits.
Reaped, yeah, but it's not benefits though. It's consequences. Can you say because you say you reap the rewards?
I suppose to be like
reap
the consequences. Suffered the consequences.
Yeah, I suffered the consequences after. Have you ever seen those ads where they're old ads now, but basically the escalator isn't working and they're standing in the middle of it and they're just like help because they don't want to walk up the escalator and it's not moving. So like help, we need help. Well, that happened to me. The escalator wasn't working because they turn them off at night, which is stupid. It's like I still need to get places. I don't know why they do that. But I got about halfway and my legs were so sore from the bike. I had to stop and thought, I'm not going to make it up this. Like it was not even. I'm not even joking. I was like, I'm not going to make it up this escalator.
Well, the same thing happened to me because like to go back to my place, I need to go up a flight of stairs. I think it's about like 20 steps. And they're the hardest 20 steps fucking ever. Especially like the last 2 times I've pretty much like focused on my legs. And then just coming out of that, it's like climbing Mount Kilimanjaro. You're just like, no!
God damn, like my legs just did not want to work.
Yeah.
They're like, yep, we're done. It's like, I'm in the middle of this escalator in the dark. It's nighttime. How am I going to get out here?
And then like I had to go down another set of stairs, and that's actually harder because you have to like drop
Going
and
down.
everything. Yeah.
So you reckon on the way walking
I
home from
think-
yours, I'm going to be stuck again, going down this time? Help! I'll call you.
I feel like
man, I need help.
feel like you might be slightly recovered. Who
I'll
knows?
just, if that happens, I just throw myself down, just roll down. But you can't throw yourself up an escalator. I've never tried, but I imagine it'd be
So
harder.
getting real
I
philosophical.
guess I could like
dude.
crawl with my arms
I feel like that'd be worse. My arms are still sore too.
from the bike.
No, from the other things I did.
Oh.
Yeah.
What other things are you talking
Whoa, lift them 50 pounds of lasagna.
about?
Oh,
Fair enough. That's a
God
true
for the
workout.
ankle. Shit on me.
That's an Uncle Jeffy workout right there.
What is it, Dylan?
I believe you've got a story for me.
The story. This is your story.
I already told that story. We're up to yours.
Oh,
That was my escalator story.
we're all falling. We're falling to pieces.
Fall into pieces. It's a little inspiration.
Okay.
Thing for the listeners there.
So, the second best thing to Uber, I think we can all agree, is staying at home. But
I'm glad you said that because I hate taxis.
well, I saw a taxi today, and around the city, they have like London taxis. I don't know if you've seen those.
I have not.
Okay, so
I
like,
haven't been in a taxi in years.
well, like I didn't go in it,
Right.
but I see it. Like they have London style taxis to make you feel, I don't know, like luxury or something like
Oh, are
that.
they those like black ones?
Yeah, the
that-
black ones.
yeah.
They say like London brand taxis
Yeah.
or whatever. So I saw one of these taxis, and like the whole idea is that's a bit more classy than like
A normal
a
taxi.
Ford Falcon and everything.
Yeah,
like
right.
that. It's like it's a bit more royal, a bit more regal.
Yeah.
Well,
You'd be like the Queen would get in this taxi. This is the Queen's taxi.
yeah, like well, maybe an archduke.
Okay. Yeah.
So I see this London black taxi, and it's got a giant ad for Forza Horizon Motorsport 4. For Motorsport 4, and it's just like a car, it's like a rally car driving in the dirt with like neon pink and shit just everywhere on it, like covering up the whole side of the taxi. And I want to know whose fucking idea was that?
Well, if you look really closely, in front of that car is the taxi. Out in front, winning, and they're basically saying, "We're the best. We're the best taxi brand out there." It's not an ad for the game. It's an ad for the taxis. Like, the competition hasn't got a shit on us.
Bugatti Veyron? Nah, London taxi.
London taxi. Yeah, that's where it's at.
But like, I just can't imagine who would get into a taxi that's like advertised like a bus. Like, because normal taxis don't have ads on them.
Yeah, they do.
Like what? Like they have like silver service.
No, like I've seen.
Oh, but they have like the little thing on the back.
Yeah,
But this
with
was
the-
like both sides completely covered.
Oh,
Like,
right.
You would not miss it anywhere.
Wow. Okay. This is the
They
full
were
deal.
like head to toe. I'm like, why would anyone get in that taxi? It makes me think it's distrustful.
Yeah, that's
It feels like they'd have a Slurpee machine inside or something like that.
that would make me want to get. in
What
that
if you
taxi.
got into it and like PewDiePie just turns around? He's like, "Hey bros, you want a game?
That's probably what would happen.
Want a
Oh.
game in my London taxi?"
That makes me think. I saw an ad on Facebook the other day. I don't know why it was targeted at me, but it was advertising for signs on buses. So the advertising on buses, $150 a week. So I don't know if you have to lock in.
Was there a minimum week?
Yeah, I don't know. But I was thinking,
What's-
surely that's worth it to just get 1 week of like my face on a bus or something like
No,
that.
it's
Like
advertised
just something
in
funny.
Dadcast, like the
We could,
horribly,
for a
the
week,
horribly
like-
drawn thumbnail,
Yeah.
and just with like the YouTube thing.
It'd just be so cool to see it on a bus. I'm sure there'd be like a minimum because they have to pay to get the shit up there and then you cancel after a week. But it's a cool idea. We'll write it down. Think about that later.
It'd be hilarious. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I know.
I'd just be like, Mom, please grant me some money. I want to get my Dadcast on the bus.
But I was thinking like that's pretty cheap for bus advertising. Like I thought it'd be more than that.
Yeah, I suppose. How many buses is it?
I think it's just the one.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't think you get multiple, but I don't know. I haven't looked into it too much. I don't have enough money to be advertising or anything to advertise.
You
really.
want it to be on a good bus, though. You wouldn't want to get it on the bus that
The one that's always late. The one that people hate.
One that goes
The M30, I tell you.
anti-Podcastville.
Oh, true. Yeah, we have to look into it more.
Yeah.
Anyways, I think it's time for my favourite segment. Have we thought of a name for this one yet? I don't think we've got a name for it. Oh yeah, it is. It's something about swiping, isn't it? Swipe right or it's
No,
something.
you keep coming up with the dumbest name for it.
No, but it's so good.
It's like
though.
swipe right or left, the Dylan story.
Yeah,
One must guess if he got a reply.
and that's what I'm calling it. Now, don't look at my phone in the reflection here, otherwise you might be able to cheat. But for the people who haven't heard of this segment before, I have been on the Tinder app. I've been opening with the greatest pickup lines there
Don't
is.
brag that you get matches. Come on, don't be that guy.
I don't get enough to to make the segment every week. That's why we space it out. But basically, I've got some pickup lines. I've messaged it to some of my matches, and I want you to tell me, Brendan, did they swipe right or swipe left? Now, this is the reason Brendan doesn't like the name, because you can't swipe right on a pickup line. But did they reply to my terrible pickup lines?
Yes.
You're locking in already. You haven't been heard. All right, well, he's a confident
Lock me in,
man.
Scotty.
All right, here's one. So this person had red hair, and, you know, I love...
Did you
I
already
love
say
the
this
red
one?
hair ones. No, this is a different one. I just
Oh.
like targeting people with red hair. So I said, this isn't my proudest one either. Just a warm up. I just asked, does the carpet match the drapes? Actually, don't tell me. I want to find out for myself. Did you reply, Brendan?
I hope not, because I feel like that is just like the most disgusting thing.
Keep in mind, I do it for the show. I would not actually message. Actually, I would. Never mind. Can we cut that?
I'm gonna say she did.
Ding, ding, ding. We have a winner.
Yay.
But wasn't too positive for me. She said, you blew your chances with that line, soz. So I replied, I want my super like back. So yeah, you're 1 from 1. We got 2 more.
Holy fuck.
All right. Oh no, sorry. This one's a lot worse than the first one. This one isn't my proudest one. I think I was tired when I wrote this one. She said, tired or just very lonely. She said in her bio that she works at McDonald's.
Ah, yes.
So I was trying to.
Snacky D's.
I was trying so hard. I remember this. I was trying so hard to think of like a clever McDonald's
You
thing,
should
and
just
I could
like
not.
relate it to her, because we both have worked at McDonald's, and just say like, "Hey, you want to be on the Dadcast?
Well, I didn't think of that.
We'll
I didn't
take
think
you
about
to
that.
eat out."
That's what I should have said. No, but I couldn't think of anything clever. I was like, come on, pun with a Big Mac, something. Couldn't think of anything.
I'm not unlike McDonald's. I'm not fast food.
Yeah, well, that would have been better, because what I said was, so what's a guy got to do to get his 100% Aussie beef between those brioche buns? Did she reply?
Oh, I want to say no.
She said, oh wow, laughing face. So I said, well, I can't stop there. I've got a hook, line and sinker right now.
No, you didn't. No,
I
she
said-
wants to fucking leave the planet, but you
So,
just...
Look, I'm giving you a second chance here. So I continued. I want to eat you out like I devour a fillet of fish. Which didn't even make much sense. But I'm like,
God.
I was tired. Give me a break. So here's a chance to redeem yourself. Did you reply to that?
I'm going to say no again, but I feel like she might have.
She said, please stop.
Mm.
One more chance to redeem yourself.
Oh,
Brendan.
fuck me.
I said,
I-
this is good though. This is where I redeem myself. I said, oh, but I'm loving it, with the apostrophe on the end, the McDonald's slogan. I'm loving it. Did she reply to that?
I'm going to go no again.
Well, you're kind of half right. She replied with an emoji, and it's that one with the eyes looking up like, what would you call that emoji?
I'd call that,
The-
please get the fuck out of my life emoji.
It's like the eye roll.
Dylan,
one.
that was fucking ridiculous.
It's for the Dadcast. It wasn't. No.
It wasn't for the
It was. I just do this in my spare time. All right, one more to go, Brendan. So this person's name is Noelle. So I said, her name is Noelle. I had a dream about her. She rings my bell.
Oh, that's so fucking cheesy.
Did she reply?
Like, here's my thought process. Like, on the one hand, she would have heard that about a million fucking times.
Yeah, I was
already.
thinking that.
But on the, like, and so she probably might have ignored it. But on the other hand, she could have been frustrated to the point, or
Of
like
replying
just
like,
upset,
I hear that all the
of
time. or
replying
something.
and just saying like, "Oh, how original." But going by the usual trend, I'm gonna say yes, she did reply.
Bow. She didn't, unfortunately, and it makes me very sad because I thought it was clever.
It's not.
I feel like if it was text, so it didn't work as well. If I could sing it to her,
Yeah, you should have
think
sent
it
one of
would've
those
been better.
creepy voice messages. That
I
you get
don't
on
think.
Facebook
Can you on
Messenger.
Tinder?
I
I
don't
wish.
think so.
I would send so many
How
of those.
fucking creepy would that be? Her name is. Yeah, sorry, I'm gonna get close to the mic, otherwise it's not gonna pick up. Her name is Noelle.
He doesn't have the words, but I appreciate it. And just put some creepy music behind that. I love it. I wish. But anyway, that was swipe right or swipe left. I think you got. Did you get any points? I think you got one at least.
I got one.
There we go. That's better than how you normally go. So congratulations,
Thank
Uncle
you.
Jeffy.
Thank you. Jim.
I think you already talked. That was your topic.
Yeah.
Have you got something to say about it, or have you already
Yes.
talked about it?
Well, I knew a guy named Jim.
That kind of Jim. Why did you spell it Gym?
That's how it was spelled.
That's how he spelled his name.
Yeah, his parents were fitness blokes.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
They were both blokes.
Well, one was a chick, but she was like really muscle man. But she liked being called a bloke. She drew VB. She was a tradie and all that sort of shit.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
One of the guys.
Yeah, one of the blokes.
There you
Always down for a game of pool. And Jim was a funny fellow. You know what I mean? Like, you know, the thing that David Bowie has, where he has two different coloured eyes.
Yep.
Sure.
I don't know. I don't know any musicians.
Mila Kunis has it too from that 70s show.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course, I know Mila Kunis.
Yeah, she has a blue eye.
I know her
brown
too well.
eye. Yeah, he had that, and he had ginger hair, so we used to call him fucking like. We used to make fun of him, saying he looked like that rat man from Harry Potter.
Yep. I haven't watched Harry Potter in ages.
Oh, I think his name was like Peter Pettigrew or something. He was like Ronald's pet rat.
Oh, right.
And he like, it just reminded me because he also had like that mole on his face.
Wait, was he a rat?
No, he wasn't a rat. Well, the Peter Pettigrew like could turn into a rat,
Oh, okay.
but Jim couldn't.
Okay. Oh, right.
He was a human boy.
The real guy, the real life guy. He could
Yeah.
turn into a rat.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
but he was ginger and he had that mole on his face, and yeah, he ended up like doing pretty well at soccer. I think he's still doing that now.
There you go.
I think he's maybe B grade in the Hyundai A League. I think last I heard from Facebook.
That's a nice story. That's pretty inspirational for a rat.
Yeah, it was
Like, that's-
completely made up.
There you go. Sneaky Brendan's wisdoms. You got me.
Yeah,
You had me in every word.
that's the first Brendan's wisdoms I've ever made up, and I made that up on the spot.
There you go.
That's
He's
a
talented.
humble yeah, that's.
He's talented and single, ladies. He's talented in more ways than one.
I keep these pink sheets fresh.
I washed my sheets today for the first time in ages, and like they were in need of a wash. They stink so bad, but it's just such a hassle, isn't it?
How much pussy juice was on those sheets, Dylan?
A whole 0, basically.
Basically, there was some pussy juice on those sheets.
I wish. No, it was no.
Remnants of some delicious pussy juice.
Yep.
You gotta boost juice, and you like Do you have any juice, the feline variety? It's fucking pussy juice.
And that's why I'm banned. That's why I got a permanent ban. But technically,
So I got fired from my job at Boost Juice.
Yeah. Well, I don't think can guys work at Boost Juice. I swear it's only girls ever get hired there.
Maybe.
Have you ever seen a male? Wait. Here's a question.
Like those
No,
millennial guys that work out though.
Have you ever seen a male employee at Boost Juice who wasn't a manager? It was just a regular crew.
I think so.
Really?
I could be wrong. He might have been a sneaky manager.
He might have been. He forgot his manager's
Well,
shirt.
what's
or
your
something.
logic that
Well, they just hire hot, attractive women
It's
to
not
get people
Hooters.
to buy. Well, it's essentially Hooters of the smoothie.
It's like, oh my god,
industry.
she's so healthy.
That's what they're going for. You don't see any.
But they're not healthy.
Well, that's why you don't see any huge
The
people.
fucking
working
Boost Juice has been gaslighting y'all. Boost Juice is like the most sugary drink. You might as well get a
shit, we
double
got a conspiracy
frappuccino
here.
from Starbucks. No, look on the bloody like
But they're made out of fruit. Fruit's healthy, isn't it?
fruit is sugar, Dylan. Why do you think
Well,
oranges are so sweet?
Does that mean sugar's healthy? Because I've been told fruit's healthy. Are you saying fruit's not healthy?
in small quantities.
How much fruit's in a smoothie?
I don't know, a lot, but there's also ice cream and like gelato and everything like that.
But you're allowed to treat yourself.
I guess, but you
No,
might as well
I've
go to,
heard they're not the greatest
You
thing.
might as well go to
out
Gloria Jean's and get yourself a delicious iced chocolate.
But the idea
Original
is they
size.
want you to think it's healthy. That's why they hire healthy people. That's why you don't see any what?
Go on, say it.
What? You don't see any huge people working there because then you think.
It's cause the hallways are too thin. Like they wouldn't be able to get.
Well,
in.
that's probably part of it. But yeah, Boost Juice. How did we get on a Boost Juice? I honestly don't know.
we're talking about my mate Jim.
Why were we talking about your mate Jim? Anyway, your made up mate Jim. How long have we been going for?
I
don't even
can't
know how to
actually tell.
Yeah, I don't know how long it's been. Should we have a look?
I think we should wrap it up.
We should wrap it up. Wrap it. That's a wrap. That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Come on, Dylan, you gotta rap for me. Ready, freestyle.
No.
You're freestyle. No, you gotta.
No, you're the rapper here. You're the rapper. Yeah. You've been listening to the Dadcast. You've been listening to the Radcast. Yeah, we got hoes, boats and hoes, and Boost Juice too. It's not that good for you. It's got too much sugar, and the women are too attractive, so you always want to go buy more. That's how they get you. Boost Juice. They're our sponsor too, so thank you, Boost Juice. Please don't stop sponsorship. Your smoothies are delicious.
Special thanks to the homunculi race.